Hello, I'm Bryce Montgomery. For those of you that know me or don't know me, yeah. So like my TED Talk is about an Oreo, and like for those of you that don't know, like the next one. Yeah. So an Oreo is like a noun, like it's the cookie, a brand of chocolate sandwich with cookie and cream and white filling. The like derogatory term, an African American who is seen, especially by other blacks, as wishing to be a part of the white establishment. Yeah, and like, I don't know why, but people call me Oreo white guy all the time. Maybe it's because my name, I guess, is white, not really. Like, my middle name is Bradford, I don't know, like, it's not white. Wait, yeah, you play with you.
It's final exams week, and that means two things. The library is packed, and I'll be writing papers. Lots of papers.
I miss the days when junk food could pass through my stomach faster than a train without brakes. When I was a kid, I gobbled enough gobstoppers to finance my dentist Mercedes and chewed through chocolates and my face exploded in a collage of pimples like pepperoni pizza because who needs middle school crushes when they've got Hershey's Kisses? The art of snacking was always carefree and fleeting until I had my first Oreo. There I was, swallowing them whole while the other kids would twist them apart. Licking off the cream before discarding of the brown shells like used Kleenex, Stacy said, the white part just tastes better. The irony of all this is that my mother used to say that you are what you eat. But the first time somebody called me an Oreo, nothing about this skin felt sweet. When somebody tells you that you are not really black, they'll smile a shade of ignorance that expects you to wear their words like a medal. They expect you to cling to those words as if their bigotry is the closest thing your hands will ever come to touching white privilege. When somebody calls you an Oreo, they'll hit the emergency ejection button on their throats and force a laugh that assures you that you'd be a fool to be offended because this is a pat on the head. This is how they thank you for not forcing them to swallow the parts of you that don't sit right in their stomach, in their suburbs, in their supremacy. Stacy, thank you for proving that you don't have to call me your dog to make me feel like you own me. You are the reason I cannot lift my hand in a lecture hall without feeling like a traitor to my own complexion. As if the only way for me to jumpstart my career was to stand on a free throw line. She called me an Oreo because I was the first shade of brown that she hadn't seen on The O'Reilly Show. I was the first shade of brown that hadn't been served to her in a Starbucks coffee cup. And whitewashing is adding creamer to your coffee because you've become dependent on artificial sweetener to make it easier to swallow. Because you love the caffeine but can't stand how bitterly the black...
Alright, so like this is basically like just like a depiction of how some people feel. Like he wrote a poem about it. Like some people feel like really like offended about it because like it's kind of saying like when you're called an Oreo or white on the inside, it's saying that black people like they can't be successful unless they're white or act white, and like you can't be rich, be smart, educated, things like that without acting white. And outside of your race, like you mentioned. Yeah. So like why I chose this is like I've been called like an Oreo or white a lot of times because like the way I talk, and like I just want to like educate people about like how it like makes people feel. Like sometimes I don't care. Like my friends call me white and stuff. Like I don't care because like you're my friend, and like it's okay. Like and I got used to it. And like next, sorry. Yeah. Yeah. So, like this is the Oreo, and that's like what people think of like an Oreo. It's like a black guy that kind of acts white. We've seen Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. That's Carlton. Right? I've been called Carlton before too. It's like the Carlton dance. Go to like 30 seconds. fun little video for you guys. Fun fact, I've done that dance before. This is like society. Like I feel like this is what society wants me to like be and look like act like not be successful, things like that, not graduate, go to college, and yeah, these applies for it. Yeah, like I can't. People like judge me or say stuff like I act white because like I live in a certain neighborhood or I don't like talk kind of ghetto, I guess, or like look like this, dress like that, because I guess I'm different, but I'm not. Like I'm like everyone else. Like black people can be successful too and not act white. Like they go to college all the time. Like every yeah. I guess maybe like might be the way you grow up, but like I don't know. Like I was taught to like be what you want to be, do things that you want to do. Like if you put your mind to it, like my whole like all the men in my family, like they've gone to college because like that's what they've been taught, and they put forth their effort to do that, and that's what I'm gonna do. Next slide. Like there's like no correct way for like another word or Oreo or like white. Like the best thing to say is like nothing if you're like thinking of saying it, but like you can like the closest thing to say or the best thing would be like, oh, you sound educated, but that still like kind of says that you have to be white to sound educated, things like that. And like that can like some people get like really offended, like they might like tell you off about it, like, oh, why are you calling me that because I'm black, and like things like that. And next slide. I see someone here that's called me an Oreo before. Like Danny's called me Oreo. Saul, I see you. What is it? The solution is like to educate individuals on like when to say it and like how to say it, and like it's just to know like that it's sometimes okay like if you're around your friends, but like sometimes it's not okay, and like let people know when they can say it, like if you're with your friends and stuff, like but you just don't say it, like, and then it's not just like black people that say it to each other, like sometimes like they say it like because they don't act like the same as like everyone else around them. Like say they go to like a certain high school and everyone there like doesn't act like, I guess I don't want to say it, but I don't but they just act differently, and like they're educated, like say they don't like play basketball, things like that, and they're like they like to read, things like that, and they might call them white because they don't do everything everyone else does. So yeah. And then yeah, and white people say it too, like they say, oh, you don't act ghetto, or you don't act black, so you must be white or something, or you're different, and like that's not true. Like you can be educated and be white. Like Barack Obama's an example, like Tyler Perry, people like that, like successful black people that do it like all the time. So next one. Oh, that's it.